Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now, today we are going to continue to build the back end of our ship, hopefully finish it off and start pressurizing the thing. Now, like I promised last episode, I was going to weld the back end that we left behind in between episodes just to save on time. And this is the result, my friends. Let's take a look at the other side. The other side is more beautiful. That one has measurements on it. We'll take a look at those measurements in a moment, but first let's gouge our eyes at this beautiful thing. Oh boy, I'm really happy with this, let me tell you. This thing is looking better than I anticipated. Let me get into the hulk so that we can have a better perspective of the ship in third person. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, my friends, while we satisfy our eyes with eye candy, let me just quickly discuss one thing. As you are probably aware, and even though I never made any promises, I have been trying for some time to do daily uploads, daily except for Sundays. Even I deserve some rest, right? But for some reason, my friends, YouTube is not liking Space Engineers too much. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know, but my last 3 or 4 videos have been taking over 12 hours for YouTube to process them. And because of that, you know, the daily episode thingy, it's kinda in jeopardy. So I just want to, you know, clarify, it's not that I'm not making the episodes, it's just that they are getting stuck by YouTube processing them. Okay, so Space Engineers wise, they are going to get done when they are done. But don't worry, I'm still making them at the same pace that I was making them before. Now, let's move on. Now that that is clarified, let's move on to other things, my friends. Like I said, today we are going to end this backend, and I didn't finish it last episode because I'm pretty sure this is going to take a little bit of time until everything is somewhat smoothed over. We are going to try to connect 2 areas that are a little bit incompatible design-wise, so that is going to be interesting. And also, I said that we were going to put some engines in here. However, I noticed that we have a turret right in front of them, so I had to take on some measurements. As we know, engines do damage, right? If you place a block right here and I fire up those engines, that block is going to be toast. However, they don't do damage forever, you know, they have a distance at which they do damage, and if I recall correctly, and if you keep the rule of 7 in mind, you are going to be okay, which means, like, if you put 7 blocks away from your thruster, and, you know, like, in here we have 8 blocks, so if I put the thruster right there, at the end of this other block, we shouldn't damage this thing. I'm pretty sure it's something like small engines is 4 blocks, large engines is 7 blocks. But still, if you keep the 7 block rule in mind, you are never going to go wrong with that. I noticed that Space Engineer likes 7s a lot, so... Yeah, you know, if you're like me and you play a lot of games, it's difficult to keep all of these rules in mind. So just remember, Space Engineers like 7s. So every time you are you have some question about it, just do 7 of that stuff. But in any case, now that we have made sure that we have enough distance away to this Gatling turret, we can slap a few thrusters in there. Simply because I don't think our craft is lacking any thrust, but still, you know, more thrusts always a good thing. And well, if this doesn't take a long time, maybe we can start working on those automated drones. Maybe we'll have to mess with the script a little bit because it's completely far away from my understanding of the game, so a trial and error is going to be necessary. But enough talking, it is time to get grinding and building. Well, my friends, change of plans, okay? So I had this grandiose idea in my head, because sometimes the ideas that you have in your head, they are just way too good to be true. Where we would start laying blocks from here, and then we would try to curve them into meeting with this part. But yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, nope. And the reason for that, like, just to make this corner, it took too many brain cells away from me. Yeah, like, I'm never in a million years going to be able to do that, so we are going to go with the next best thing, which is I'm just going to replicate this corner on the other side, and then we are going to turn a blind eye on any ugly corners that we have. Okay? Sounds good? Perfect. And we are back, my friends, and I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with the results, even though it wasn't as I was imagining it in the first place. It's looking pretty good indeed. We are only missing those engines on the side, which I'm going to take care of next, and then well, I have to take care of the groupings for these engines, for these new engines. Boy, that is going to be a handful of work, but yeah, because I have to disconnect all the ships, otherwise it's going to be a mess. I'm going to group engines that I shouldn't be grouping, even though I have named all the engines and whatnot. I just found it makes it easier if you just undock the ship, all the ships first, and then you take care of that. But afterwards, I think that we are going to start taking care of our automated runs. And the reason for that is because, well, we have a small issue over here. Like, I need to know how much space we are going to need, and what kind of logistics I need to bring over here before I close this area off, because we might be done on the outside, but the inside it's still needing a lot of work. This truly looks like a ship in renovations, frames everywhere, and we kinda need some of those measurements to see, you know, the space that we are going to need. But in any case, for now, it's just engines, so over here what we are going to put as the final engines on this thing is 2 more hydrogen thrusters, and I welded the wrong thingy. This one is not supposed to be welded. Because we are going to put in here iron thrusters, because you know, I want to spend the gold, the little gold that I have, I want to spend it. Come on, go there, please. There we go. This way the engines are protected, they add to the aesthetic of the ship, you know, having those thrusters over there on the side. Hopefully they are not going to burn this thing. I'm pretty sure it's at least 7 blocks. We are over 7 blocks from the Gatling turret, so the Gatling turret should not suffer any damage. It's definitely not for propulsion purposes, because we have plenty of that going around. But yeah, I really can't wait to see this thing going. I'm pretty sure this is much quicker now. Okay, my friends, so I was thinking, and I came to the conclusion that we are not going to build the drone this episode. I want to dedicate an entire episode to that thing. That thing is going to be complicated, so yeah, there's no point in rushing it. Especially because we already have measurements. I completely forgot. We have a printing chamber, right? Right. We want our drone to fit in the printing chamber. I'm not going to build them manually, that's for sure. So if it can fit in the printing chamber, it can definitely fit in this space that I'm giving it. The printing chamber is 3 by 2, so in here we have more than that. So it's not going to be a problem. I'm also going to insulate this area with glass. I want to have glass on both sides. I kind of want to be able to walk through this corridor and assess the damage that our drones have suffered. Yeah, we're going to definitely put glass in it. If we need, we can always drive the drones back into the frontal hangar, put them back into the printer with a blueprint on top of it, and repair them that way. So with that in mind, okay, interesting. With that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the logistics, taking into consideration these new measurements that my brilliant brain just remembered. Yeah, after all, right, we don't want to build a drone that is so big that it doesn't fit in the printer. So yeah, we already have some logistic going around. So I'm going to just start building the drone hangars with that in consideration. And yeah, my first thought about it was because of this ceiling over here. This ceiling is it was starting to become a little bit lower than I might have wanted it to. I was also confused on how I was going to bring the logistics, but now I know I'm going to bring it through here. I'm going to put a junction right there to create a seal, and then I'm going to put a connector over on this side, and that is going to be it. Very simple, very efficient. And we are done, my friends, at least with the drone hangar, that is. What do you guys think about it? I think it's pretty cool. We have these double windows on both of these sides. That is just a simple one-sided window. I hope this one is airtight, because it's pointing outwards. However, if it is not, it is pretty simple to fix. If we have a leak, I'm pretty sure we're not going to have a leak through here. We have the other glass on the other side to make sure of that. Same thing over here. As you can see, the glass is pointing outside, but we have the other one on the inside. This one is the only one that we don't have. So if we have any problems, I'm sure I don't have the girders, I don't, but the only thing we have to do is just to put a few more windows over here, and that is going to seal off that area, and it's going to stop being a problem. And yeah, as you can see, this one is not super roomy, but it has to be more than enough room for the drone to fit. Otherwise, once again, the drone is too big, it will not fit in the printer, blah blah blah. We all know the drill by now, so it will have to fit. That's that simple. Now I'm just going to replicate this on the other side, so just give me a moment. Alright, my friends, the second hangar has been welded. I also took advantage that I was, you know, building stuff, and I redone the catwalk over here. We no longer have that stair that leads into the cockpit. We now have these ladders over here, close to the cockpit. There is also enough space for us to maneuver around. That thing is not lower than the connector, therefore it should be relatively okay. And even if we destroy it, you know, by banging against it, it's not going to be the end of the world, and I think it looks rather nice. Also, because I was, you know, doing this, it would be advantageous for me to take care of the airlock. This is going to be the tiniest airlock in the world, only 2 tiles wide. This is all the space that we have. Sensor-wise, we'll have to be careful not to have these 2 doors open at the same time. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something about it. Maybe we won't use sensors at all, at least in this airlock. We'll see. We'll see what time brings us. Now, let's move into our crew area, which should be the next area that we are going to work on. I'm going to go for a minimalist approach. The bare minimum things that we need over here for our comfort. A few desks that should not obstruct the view too much, right? They are sitting on this railing over here, not to obstruct the view from the outside, and these large desks as well sitting on this junction over here. And I'm going to stick the beds in the wall. Reason for that is the beds have a tiny little window. See if I can... oh no, I removed the bed from the build bar. You just put it back where it was. Right, if we go over there, as we can see a tiny little window, so I'm pretty sure this is an airtight block, and you know, it's going to add a little bit more aesthetical to this place. We'll be able to watch the outside while we are asleep, so we can't complain about it, right? So let's take a look out, although exiting this place now it's a little bit complicated. This thing is almost airtight. We are almost ready to pressurize that area, which is going to be our next objective, is to work on the crew quarters and pressurizing the back end. Please let me get out. Okay, so let's see. The impact, visually wise from the outside, is not that big with those little desks, and from the inside is also pretty minimalist. And well, we still need to see these blocks welded. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's weld one of these blocks. Yeah, it doesn't look half bad. This thing over here, the edge of the blocks, is a little bit unfortunate, but you know, if you look at it from far away enough, it's not that big of a deal, and I think it's going to add to the interior aesthetics, so I'm going to go with it. Cool, so now that we have our next objective, that one should be relatively simple to achieve. Like I said, this area, it should be airtight now, so we could technically pressurize the back end. I really want to do that. Let me just scoot through here. This one getting into the ship is starting to get a little bit complicated, shall we say. But in any case, in order for us to bring gas over here. I'm going to pressurize using this vent over here. I'm going to make a cut over here, and we are going to just put a few gas vents on both sides of the crew quarters. Okay, my friends, so the moment of truth has arrived. We are about to find out if we have an airtight area or not. Disregard the vents just now. We still have the doors open. Kinda want to have them both built before we do that. Now I'm going to leave that hole over here on purpose. This is supposed to connect to this chamber over here, which should also be airtight. For all intents and purposes, that door is closed. And that means the only thing missing should be to close this door right here. After we close it off, it should be airtight. We'll see. This should be depressurized on. Okay, let's close that door off now. Let's take a look. Not right there, right here. Are you working? They are not working. Let's troubleshoot it. Okay, so slowly but steadily let's try to rule out any problems. So I already welded that tiny little hole over there, and now we are going to close this door off, and we'll see. Okay, so the problem is not from this room in particular. Okay, so let's depressurize this thing so that we don't waste the oxygen, and then let's try again. Well, I mean, if this airlock is not welded, I mean, it's a little bit difficult, maybe, to create an airtight area. Okay, maybe I just found the problem. Alright, so now that we have established one of the possible problems, let's close that door off. That should be on depressurize only. Okay. Let's try to go through here. Now let's see, are you pressurizing now? Still no. Okay, so we have more leaks in here. Unfortunate, but once again, time to investigate. So after double and triple checking pretty much everything, I am assuming these blocks right here are the leak. So as I mentioned before, all that I need to do is getting out of here to start with, and then go outside and build more windows to cover up that hole over there. That also doesn't seem to work. Could it be a problem with... Oh no. Don't tell me. These are turned inside. And these are sitting on the other ones, and these are turned outside, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but they are connected over there. Could it be... No. We have established this room is airtight, so it could never be from here. It has to be from here. I built these plates, these light armor panels, and I was sure that was going to do it. But now I am uncertain. I know that this is not a problem. These windows are turned inside, so they are not a leak. These ones may be turned outside, but the other ones are not, and also, you know, once again, we have established there is airtight. So I have no idea. I will have to investigate further. I gotta be honest, I have no idea where this pipe leads to, but this might be the source of our problems, maybe?
Energy low.
Susan appears to agree. I'm going to chop this pipe off, and I'm going to replace this thing with one of these conveyor junction. I'm pretty sure that by grinding down two conveyors I now have enough to build one of those. I'll have to remember to rebuild that. But let's see, will this now help? Because I'm running a little bit low on ideas on where the leak could be. Oh! We are pressurizing, guys, we are pressurizing, look. Oxygen low to cold, which means air, is coming in. That was the source of our issues. Okay, problem solved. Oh well, my friends, this is indeed a pretty glorious moment. We can open our helmet now in our crew quarters and enjoy ourselves while we are on transit, although I probably would not advise that. While we are on transit, we should probably be in the control seat to prevent anything bad from happening, but any guests that we might have will be well served in here. Of that, I am pretty sure. We have all the amenities necessary, we even have our armories and toilets. And now we have all of this space available to us. I still need to weld all of these stairs, and this top part not exactly done just yet, but it will be soon. It will be soon. So yeah, we have all of this room to work with. I think I could make a theater in here. This looks like has good acoustics over here. Maybe we can have some space opera play in here. Who knows? I don't know. Probably let's not waste the space on that, but just to say, we still have a room to expand if we establish that we need something else. Right, whoa, let's try not to do that. Let's try not to kill another engineer. I still haven't killed anyone in this episode, so I would rather keep it like that. Okay, my friends, so, given that we have achieved the airtight objective, there is only a few things left for us to do before we fire up all those engines and get moving. One of which is one of the concerns that we had, the lack of gyro power. Right, so if we add a few more gyros, that should be a little bit more helpful. So, I did some research on the way the gyros work, and their orientation and position is completely not important. Pretty much these things will combine their force and apply it to the center of the center of mass of the craft. That's it. So whenever you decide to put them, whatever the orientation is, doesn't really matter. Of course, that they are a little bit heavy, and they might offset the center of gravity, and therefore you should be careful with it. But other than that, not exactly a major concern. So, given that we now know that to be certain, we are going to put them over here, which is close to the center of gravity anyway, and even if it was not going to shift it too much, so not exactly something that we would concern Jesus. Words difficult. It would not be something that we should concern ourselves with. Alright, my friends, so we went from 4 gyroscopes to 16 in the back, plus I believe we have something like 6 in the front, or something like that, I can't recall. We have some in the front, let's just say. If this is not enough gyro power, I don't know what is, so I'm going to assume that this is more than enough. After all, there is like 1 billion iron invested in these gyros alone, so let's not invest more if we don't need to. With those gyros welded, I think it is time for us to update our to-do list. It has been a long time, so gyros, we are done. Battery power, maybe. We are going to leave this one in here for a little while until we verify if we have enough battery power or not. Bottom hangar plus Corvette, done and dusted. And grav field generator, also done, although what we are going to do now, grav field gen, how should I put it? I kinda want to have gravity on the entire ship, but that is going to require multiple grav gens. Pretty sure I'll remember what this means, because right now we have a very crude gravity influence. Let's just give some space. Let's go over here into info, gravity. Okay. So, as we can see, we have a very crude gravity field around our ship. It works in most of the ship, it's just that it doesn't work in the entirety of the ship. Not only that, we affect too much of the outside area. What we could do is we could reduce the central one that we have already built in order just to influence this central part. Then we would add a second in the back, only to influence the back end. a third one in the front, only to influence the two hangars plus the med bay, and then, if we wanted, a fourth one just to influence the tower. After all, these things are not super power hungry, and as long as we don't intersect this grav field too much, we shouldn't have a lot of problems. However, if you start intersecting them, they will not multiply the forces, but they will stack the gravity force on top of each other, and you might end up with a few areas with a little bit stronger gravity, and I would also rather avoid that. It's just that it's pretty useful when you are like upside down and you want to reorient. You want to change your orientation fast. Well, now you can with gravity, right? That's pretty much the main reason for that, because well, with mag boots we can transverse pretty much from one side of the other of the ship, so we are cool on that regard. Alright, my friends, so after thinking about it a little bit, I think I already know where I'm going to put the gravity generators. Like I said, I kind of want to have gravity on the entire ship without affecting the outside area too much, so we are going to need several for that. We are going to put one right here. It is like the one of the few spots which is centralized and out of the way. We can still push the vehicles without interacting with it, which is pretty cool. Next, we are going to place another one right here, so that we can influence the tower without without extending it too much. Come on, scoot by. Our engineer is getting a little bit fat. Can't squeeze through anymore. Okay, we'll have to come back and finish it off. And then we have the already existing one, which is going to be for the middle of the ship. Right, and that means we need a final one, which I think I already found the best position for it. Let's go take a look. It's somewhere right here. This way we'll be able to affect the back end without affecting the hangar bay. Oh no. Okay, please. Attach, thank you. At least, so as I was saying, this gravity generator is not going to influence from this point forward. That is going to be the job of that generator, the first one that we've built. This way, hopefully, I'll be able to have a better gravity within the ship without affecting the outside too much. However, I would also like to affect this area right here, the drop hangars, so that, you know, at least there is a little bit of gravity helping the drones fall into space. So yeah, now I need to be careful while doing this. After all, if the gravity areas intersect, they will stack their gravity on top of each other, so it's probably for the best if I weld one at a time and set them off one at a time. I don't know why, but I think this looks worse than before. Okay. That's fine, I suppose. In any case, I tried to minimize the number of intersections that we have, so that we are on a continuous 0.5 Gs. However, there are a few intersections. Like for example, over here there is one of 0.15 where three thingies intersect each other. It's not that large, but still, it is less than ideal. But oh well. Oh well. At least is better, and we have gravity on the entire ship. We don't have on the roof of the ship, but yeah, that was just to avoid. We are not going to walk over there, so it was to avoid to extend this a little bit too much, because if we extend upwards, we need to extend downwards as well. So there is always that to take into consideration. So I think this is going to be it for gravity thingies. We are now going to go into info and pretend they don't exist and everything is perfect. So over here on our list, we can come over here, remove the gravgens. That's as many as we are ever going to give it. A few more batteries now would probably be for the best. Where? That's a good question. I'm not going to put them in the back in our new room. that would be counterproductive. It would shift the center of mass backwards and would occupy our new room, and I kind of want to use it for something else. So, I was looking at our battery list over here, and I think we might have enough power to go around. After all, we are not going to move the capital ship until all the ships are connected to it, and therefore we'll be utilizing the batteries from those ships. And well, with that in mind, well, this list is quite extensive, so I'm going to assume we're going to have enough batteries to provide energy output for our ion engines. However, I should probably turn on the H2 engines, the ones that create power, right? While we are on transit. I just turned them off because we are, you know, a little bit low on fuel. 69%, it's not a lot, and we can't remember that we must share those 69% fuel with all of our crafts, so it's never a bad idea to have a little bit of stock. And I also added this for experimental purposes. Apparently you can use, like, create holographic blueprints. Unfortunately, our ship is too big and this thing cannot handle it. But still, I think it's pretty neat. Maybe I can do something with it later, I don't know. But in any case, I think we are kinda done for this stop. We can reconvert the ship from station back into ship. But before, and test it out. But before we go, I'm just going to make a few mining trips. After all, there is plenty of resources around. It would be a waste to move from this area without getting a little bit more uranium, more magnesium, more iron, a little bit more of everything. Before we go, let me just double check. Given that we barely use any uranium, that full node gave us a whopping, how much? 17 over there, 57, 166. Okay, it gave us a decent amount, decent quote unquote, because I suppose we have less than 1k in here, which is like not exactly motivating, but at the same time I suppose we are not going to use that much, and you know, for power we can start thinking about building reactors and stuff like that. But still, I think the reactor needs components, not components. Not gravity components, nuclear component, I don't know. They need gold, that's what I'm trying to say. And given that we have very little, we are not going to move towards that just yet. We are just going to hold on a little bit more until we find that elusive gold node. And once we have it in our possession, we will then proceed to build all these things that take a bunch of gold. Funky. But until then, kind of a bad idea. Alright, my friends, I'm done with mining. I have collected a fair amount of resources. A lot of iron, uranium and magnesium. These was the resources that we had to collect from here. But I think that's enough. That's enough for one day of mining. So, now that we are pretty much ready to go, let's close the hangar, so it's this one. And then let's pressurize the ship once again. For the very first time, we'll have the full ship fully pressurized. I think it's on the other side, so hangar pressurize. There it goes. We should go over here and pressurize that room as well. I kinda might have accidentally vented all the content from this room into space because I bumped my head against the wall, and I wanted to recover the health points. And yeah, all of that went away. But in any case, it wasn't that much. And now this is pressurized. Let's open this door, so that we can pressurize that room as well. But now, we can walk from there all the way over here, and be perfectly fine with it. Cool. And we also have gravity all over the ship, which, you know, at first I didn't thought I wanted it, but now it's a useful comfort. But yeah, in any case, my friends, in any case, it is time for us to go back into our control seat, convert the station into ship, and be on our way. Okay, so we go over here, info, convert to ship, ship converted, and now let's turn on our engines. All engines on. Pretty cool. Watching it live for the very first time after its renovation. Now, there is kind of a small issue. Where do I want to go? Whoa, this... You guys heard that? I have to go investigate. I mean, I did a thorough investigation of the ship. I don't see any loose debris, I don't see any loose blocks, unattached grids, anything. All the ships are currently attached. They are not, like, touching anything. Very, very strange. Hopefully nothing gets destroyed, and, well, if something is about to get destroyed, I suppose we'll find out, but still, I would rather nothing exploded. It's not you, of that I'm certain. Don't know. Let's try to give it a little bit of a push and see if anything moves. Uh-huh. There is something loose over here. There is definitely something loose. I see the Spacestrocity moving. What in the actual F is going on? I mean, sure. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, I suppose, that's why you save the game. Because I don't feel like repairing all of this. Even though it's not expensive or anything, it's just a few stairs and that, it's not the end of the world. I just don't feel like repairing it after building so much stuff. Okay, so we all can see, right? Connected, okay? Locked and loaded. Right, game? Don't screw with me this time. I know it's you screwing with me, but okay. Okay, let's see. Bang! Okay, we heard the bang. We heard the bang. Let's take a look. What the hell is going on in here? What in the actual F is going on, game? I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. It's the gravity that is freaking you out? Could that be? Let's go over here into the control panel. Let's turn all the grav fields off. In fact, let's make a group for that. Like, I would assume that 0.05 gravity thingies, G's of gravity, it would not be the end of the world. But, well, that's the only difference in here. Let's turn this off and let's see. Will there be any more banging? Besides, this seems to be even slower than it was before. I don't hear any collisions. Let's give it a little bit of thrust. Uh-huh. Bam! The screeching noise of agony and internal explosions. Okay, let's check the damage once again and reload the game once again because I absolutely don't understand what the hell is going on. Oh boy, this is absolutely beautiful. Oh, Spacestrocity, what the hell is going on with you? You definitely are not feeling okay today. So this time I'm redoing the attachment. I mean, we were a little bit separated. Maybe that was it, like there was a little bit of force and that it would separate the connection. I never saw it happen before, but well, now this thing is a tad bit closer, so let's give it another try. Hopefully the ghost in the machine will go away. Okay, let's see. Nope. Look, my friends, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. So we are going to go for how should I put it? Like last resource kind of thing. I'm going to attack. I didn't want to do this, you know. Clearly, I designed this specifically to have the Spacestrocity attached to this connector and not right there, as that is going to block the pebbles from leaving the hangar should we need to defend ourselves. But I really have no idea what the hell is going on, and so, like, I have to test this, you know, and so let's give it a try. Okay, so now we have an absolute physical connection to the ship. This thing should never detach again, but I suppose the game is about to show us that we are absolutely wrong and something else is going to detach, and I'm going to be very sad. Okay, let's see, what's next? Like, first my gyro control. I thought I had just added a billion gyros. Apparently they are doing even less than before. Ems! You heard? And not... I'm going to stay in here forever. What? 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 What the fuck just happened? The hell just happened over here? Don't understand. Things make they make even less sense now. So nothing is making any sense whatsoever, guys. Like, I'm even using the center of mass as a trick to see if there is any loose blocks in here. As we can see, there is not. There is nothing loose in here. Because if there was, like, you see, it would appear, even if it was like seemingly connected, but not, right? If I made a mistake of putting something like this, it would show up as an individual block, and you know, it would alert us for loose blocks in the grid. This makes zero sense. I don't... Well, my friends, I can't extend the episode any longer. I'm pretty sure this thing is already very long, but I absolutely don't understand what's going on. There is something wrong in this hangar, but we didn't touch the hangar. Like, we didn't touch this thing. All the construction that we did was in the back. Even this was already... no, we built this. But once again, there is no loose blocks in here. So, what gives? That's the Hulk, and I'm pretty sure that's the Hulk, and that's the center of the capital ship. Well, my friends, I suppose that the Ghostbuster mystery will have to stay for next episodes. Hey guys, future me here. I found the freaking problem. It was these rails right here. These rails. So pretty much what happened, I had a rail right there attached to the attached to this block, to this conveyor junction. However, I had to remove it to place the gravity generator, and that thing was the only thing attaching to the rails that we had right here. Now, don't ask me how the hell those rails managed to detach the Spacestrocity from there. I have no idea. But that was the problem. Freaking rails. So, well, this is kind of a lame way to finish the episode without being able to see this thing full blast, all those engines firing at the same time. Disappointment. Terrible disappointment, but oh well, my friends, it is what it is. And with all of this said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. Wait a second. Okay. I'm sorry, my friends, that I interrupted myself, but I just spotted a bunch of things and I got confused. In any case, as I was saying, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye!